connection. It's very strange. It's a very good connection today. Real strange. Just wait for everybody to come in. There's nobody right now, so I'll wait. I did invite you. Oh, yeah. Okay, just waiting for people to come in. How's everybody doing so far? In this session, I will definitely be breaking down They Live. I was going to do this before. I know it took months. I know I talked about this months ago. I was going to do this breakdown. And I just been pretty much busy working on a lot of stuff, so I couldn't even get to it like I really wanted to. So instead, I decided, you know what I do have and what I have gathered, I will talk about instead. I will talk about instead. I'm going to write it down. If I do type it up one day where everybody can share it that way, I will. But until then, this will be the time I'm going to actually speak on the analysis. And I guarantee you, after I'm done with it, you never heard this before. You never heard anything like this before in regards to this film. I know I haven't. And I've heard multiple breakdowns about this film. But right now, I'm just waiting for more people to come in, before I start talking. What's up, Brother G? What's up, All Day? How you doing, Abiaso? I see that's your name. I always wonder how you pronounce your name. You gotta tell me how you pronounce your name, brother. Sometimes I call you Joseph this moment. I don't want to get your name wrong, your first name wrong. Wait a minute, you haven't seen it? Well, anyway, you know what? After you hear it, then you go back, then you see what I'm saying. But anyway. Okay, we got 3 people so far. Okay. Oh, hey, what's up, Brother John? What's up? See, yeah, we're going to definitely go into this analysis because, how can I put it this way? It's not only attached to the times the movie came out, it's also attached to the times that we're in. Now, interesting enough, when watching this movie, you're going to usually hear the same rhetoric, right? The same story over and over again. Most people I ever heard break this movie down have the same rhetoric. Oh, hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, G Walker? Hey, how's it going, brother? But yeah, everybody that pretty much touches this movie, they always talk the same thing. It's got to do with the reptilians, the government's controlled by aliens. I'm sorry, I always laugh when I hear this. So anyway, what I'm about to say about the movie is it still focuses on a couple of things in regards to that, but not exactly what they're saying. Okay, get off my hand. This damn flies flying over here. Look. Anyway, okay. In regards to the film, for one, I'm just going to pretty much narrow it down to one thing. And I'll tell you the rest. It's a simulation. Now, it took me a minute to really think about this, but why would it be a altered reality? Oh no, not altered. Augmented. It's an augmented reality that you're looking at when you see this film. So you when they put the glasses on, they actually enter into that reality, that virtual reality, so to speak. But instead of it being virtual, as in how we are used to the idea of virtual reality being a computer program, it is more augmented based on the virtual reality being how you view your perception of society. So that view has been transferred in a way where it could be directed based on what they have essentially programmed you to think and what you already feel. That's what the reality you're viewing the film. So it makes it augmented. Now, it's not exactly virtual because it's not a computer program. Now, I know we got multiple people say that we are in an illusion and reality. I get it. They mean by just the society aspect of it, right? But in regards to this film, it's more augmented because it allows them to create that facade where he does put the shades on And you know, he can go through the entire reality just walking around picking magazines and videotapes and the money and not notice it. But when he enters into that reality, you understand, he sees then what the money actually says. He also sees what the billboard says. He sees that the ground he's walking on looks a little different. But ultimately, he sees that the people he's looking at aren't exactly people. So it's funny. But that's how you know the reality he's in was augmented. Now, let me see what I want to say about that. Now, as far as the film goes, we get this story about this drifter who just arrives in Los Angeles looking for a new life after coming from Detroit, right? Losing his job, going through the abuse he did by his father, going through the rough times he experienced. He wanted to experience a life that was better for himself, a life that he thought that if he followed the rules of America would change everything for him, because he believed in the dream. So in other words, he was still asleep, right? But yet, when he entered into that simulation, because this is what he enters into, he sees then that things are way different, that this American dream he thought he wanted was a fantasy. But most certainly you have to be asleep to experience it. So, what do we see in the film? Once he gets into town, he's looking for work. He goes to the social services or the welfare services looking to see if he can find a job. No luck. Next thing we know, he does find some work at a construction site. Of course, they don't want to hire him right away. But then he sees that the Latino people are over there on the side. Now, the dude tells him first when he checks the job, oh, this is a union job. But then he sees the Latino people over there hang on the side like, hey, you know, we're waiting for the work. So he's like, okay, so wait a minute. You're telling me I can't get the job, but apparently you were hired in for pennies, essentially. But then, what? He gives him the job anyway. So, didn't know he needed an extra hand, right? So, it's at that time he meets David Keith's character, right? Now, I can't quite remember his name, but in the movie. But I do know that Roddy Rod Piper doesn't have a name. It's just like watching Fight Club. The only name you obviously understand is Tyler Durden. But you don't hear anything about Edward Norton's name, so you don't know his name. You just know he has multiple aliases that they use. So in other words, he's a nameless character. So the black dude, you know, obviously meets him and, you know, I guess takes some kind of liking to him and essentially, you know, asks him, you know, tell him, hey, you hungry? It's a nice place to get some food and need somewhere to sleep. You can go there. Of course, he doesn't follow him. Well, he doesn't take notice to what he says, but he ends up following him anyway. So when they get to the area, the desolated area where the homeless people are at, they see this church, obviously, right? Now, he's there for a few days, and he starts realizing something was weird about the church. These people are actually going into the church like at 4 o'clock in the morning, just doing whatever. So he asks, like, wait a minute, what are they doing? Right? He peeps in and realizes that it's all the front. And they having some kind of discussion about such and such, right? He doesn't know what it's about yet, but he ends up finding out what it's about later. But he does stumble upon these glasses. They still has no idea what they are until later. And then that's when the next day stuff goes down. The cops raid the area. Or what looks like police raid the area. They take out the homeless person, right? They take out the homeless people's area and destroy their stuff, start beating them up, harassing them, throwing them to jail, probably killing them too. As far as we see. So, with deeper analysis, I've managed to critique what this film is actually about. This movie, this may sound a little shallow, but I will put that this movie does reflect all ethnicity, essentially, the underclass. But however, when you're looking at this movie in its entirety, this movie is actually about black people. Now, I'm going to let you know why. I'm just going to For one, him trying to get work and them turning them down based on, and seeing that there were other people there at that construction site. He was turned down based on who he was. Now you're like, wait, isn't Roddy Piper considered European, Caucasian? Yeah, but he's not playing Caucasian. He's playing the white. He played a Negro, man. Okay, for one, let's look at it this way. And one of the things, when he is trying to convince the brother, David Keith's character, or Keith David, I get his name backwards. I don't know which part is it. David Keith, Keith David. When he is trying to get him to put on those glasses, you understand? Trying his darndest, they practically have to fight damn near to the death for him to actually put them on. Of course, he finally get him on his face after this long battle. But why? Do you know how hard it is to try to wake up any nigga on the planet? Do you know you gotta literally beat the shit out of them to try to get them to see what the hell you are saying? They're not gonna listen just because they just so fucking stubborn. Don't listen to anything you say. But you have to beat the shit out of this nigga to finally get it to his fucking brain. Hey, put on the glasses. You have to see what kind of reality we're in. So in other words, though the reality was augmented, he couldn't see essentially what was behind that veil, that decadence. Well, I gotta put this. The reality they were actually looking at in that simulation, right, is the real world. But yet in itself, this is what's so ironic about it. In itself, though that is supposed to be what reality actually looks like, he is still in a simulation. The world they create to keep everybody attached to this idea of how do I put it? The hologram. They apparently use some kind of hologram to shield their appearance, right? That world's a simulation. But even when he puts the glasses on, the augmented reality, that's a simulation. You understand? I know that's kind of weird. But he's experiencing two simulations at the same time. Because why? Well, the dude tells you in the film. Yeah. Hold on one second. I gotta find my paper. Because I took notes of this shit. I had to. Okay, one. The dude in the TV. You know the TV screen part, right? Okay, the dude keeps coming on the TV screen. It interrupts everything, right? And it's funny because I thought about this shit. Why would they get headaches every time they saw that he would broadcast to their signal, the frequency, to try to tell them what was happening? And then I thought, why do they keep getting headaches when he would put glasses on? You know, they put the glasses on and keep them on too long. Dude told me you don't take them off after a while. It's almost like a knife is being, damn, how do you say that? Not carved, but, damn. I think he said something like being screwed or something like that through your skull. Okay, I can't remember how you put it. But it's something along those lines. Anyway, on the TV screen, the first encounter when he sees this dude break through their frequency and start telling them what's happening, he says that our impulses are being redirected. You are living in an artificially induced consciousness that resembles sleep. Now, I understand what he was saying there. Now, it took me a minute to just really think about what he was saying. Really think about it. When he says that our impulses are being used against us, that means essentially our wish allergy is being used against us. And are we? At their level. And with doing so, by keeping you attached to their augmented reality, you have been put in a artificially induced coma. Now, the coma he's talking about is, since your awareness has been essentially stunted, and you're unable to tell what is real and essentially what is not real. This is why I say it's always important that you decipher what you're seeing, because it may not be real. and it may be real. Like for instance, this thing that's happened in Oakland lately, with this lady making this phone call on these black people that were barbecuing, right? I don't think that's real. In fact, I know for certain that's not real. It's full of crap. But it's a really good way of making you believe that that part of that reality is true. But now, what we're getting now, from that very moment, we can go back to the Starbucks case, right? And see that black people were being called, the cops were called on them for nothing as well. So all this shit is an augmentation of reality. But if the awareness is essentially, how do you put it? Again, I gotta read this one more time. How do you put it? He says that you are living an artificially induced consciousness that resembles sleep. Meaning, you don't necessarily have to be, your eyes don't have to necessarily be closed. You don't have to necessarily be asleep. It is the fact that you are walking. You understand? You're awake to witness this. How can they put this? Your waking life, right? They call it your waking life. You're in your waking life, but yet your awareness is destroyed. There's no balance to your awareness. So you only see one thing. That one thing they want you to see is their augmentation. But you can't tell which one of it is real. So in other words, you are asleep. You know, I mean, it's kind of like the idea of the Matrix, you being plugged in, but you are asleep. And you're walking, and you're talking, and you're going to work, you're going to school. And if you don't realize it's happening, then you are asleep. And you can be stuck in this induced coma for a very long time and not know anything. So therefore, you actually go to your grave, your eternal sleep, and not know a damn thing. So, you might as well just say that when they talk about the walking dead, and we usually refer to these people as being dead that don't know what's happening, it makes perfect sense. But yet it should be critiqued as to why they would be called that. Because they go through life believing a simulation. This next thing he says, the poor and the underclass, racial justice, and human rights are non-existent. Yet again, this is something I also had to think about he was saying. In this case, when you're talking about there is no racial justice, we're talking about there's no help for the poor, and we're talking about an underclass that really is the only class if you don't have any money. Then you're talking about human rights, but that's a game because you don't even have what they call civil rights, right? So all these things are non-existent, which means they don't exist. Oh, what do you say? Wake, stiff, equal, dead, awake, anatomically, atomic, wavy, algorithm, algorithmic, kinetic energy. That's very interesting. Very interesting, TJ. Now, you know, that makes a lot of sense. What I'm about to say also in the next, but it's non-existent because, for one, you don't get justice. How can you get justice from a simulation? If it's not real, then that means none of it is real. So when we talk about countries, there's no such thing as countries. That's why he tells in the movie, near the end of the film, when they finally break into the studio. I mean, the studio of the station, the program station, cable station, right? And one of the dudes who was homeless, in the homeless scene, who we found out actually was working for them the whole time. He was fronting. We thought he was homeless when we seen him talking to him and on TV. We come to find out he wasn't homeless after all. He was working for the people the whole time. He telling the movie. He said, "Man, there ain't no such thing as there are no more countries. There are no more heroes. They run the whole show. Hey, we doing good, man. They got everything on the lock. Hey, it's nothing wrong with trying to get a piece of pie." Is that what he said to him, right? You understand? He thought they were a part of the shit because they were there. But he couldn't find out, obviously they weren't. But the thing is, it told me another thing, that they actually use normal civilians, right? That we think are normal people to infiltrate. Understand? I mean, it's real deep. Now, another thing. Well, now, next part, I should say. They created a repressive society. Repressive. You know that word? I mean, you look that up. But it's a repressive society. And we are their unwitted accomplices. So, you don't even have to be an agent. Literally, an FBI, CIA. You don't have to be actually assigned and work for them. You're an agent because, well, they have conditioned you and programmed you so well that when you do speak against, or whether you do speak to someone that understands what's happening and going on, what do? They try to defend the system, saying, "No, that's not true. That's not right. That's wrong. How can you say that about? Not everybody like that. No, not all people like that. They're not all like that." That's an agent, and he don't even know it. He don't know it. But he's been programmed so deeply that he has become their accomplice in their game, and then he don't even see it. Because how are you going to defend something that you're not in control of? So, next up, he says, and this is all what he says on TV. I have to write this shit down because I have to break it down. He says, their intention to rule lies with the annihilation of consciousness. Now, I want you to understand that very deeply. All right? Very deeply. That why would you want to destroy consciousness? We kill you to hold on to the system. Exactly. Like the Matrix, right? Now, this movie came out before the Matrix, but not before Sophia's book, but at least before the film, The Matrix. But they share the same story. Same thing. Now, when he's talking about the annihilation of consciousness and consciousness being total, well, being balance of awareness, if you have a balance of it, you just have this thing called awareness. You don't have a balance of it. To actually annihilate awareness is to, is to keep you conditioned to programs. You know, television being a program, and what you watch on television is programming. That is one way to keep your awareness destroyed. Why do I say this? But for one, you got this frequency they show you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and within that broadcasting, there is this program that is being hit. You're receiving in your eyes, and essentially within your body. It's hitting your body force. You can't feel the force unless you're really receptive. But the force is hitting you essentially, with a barrage that you can't, back away from, and attacking your ears. Attacking your ability to, smell. It attacks you on every level, but you don't realize it unless you start watching television. So when you start watching it again, you're like, damn, how come I feel sick? How come I got a headache? How come my eyes hurt? Because of the signal. So therefore, your consciousness is being attacked on that level 24/7. And it may not be a television. The very fact that you have electrical currents are artificially around you at all times. Lights, lights in the street, lights in your home, frequencies, sound waves, that kind of thing, that attacks your consciousness on a daily. And the reason why they want to destroy your ability to be receptive of their BS is because, and this essentially means to repress you, means that they want you not to be able to think at all, not to be able to see anything that's being said. Because why? They want to be the ones to tell you. They want to be the ones to show you. But all of it is what? A simulation. Okay. Next up. After that, he says, we are plugs. Yes. Everything. All of it is a frequency. All of it is a sound wave. And that's what's so interesting about Transformers, especially part 2, into part 3, when you are introduced to the Transformer sound wave. Now, Transformer heads, like such as myself, will know that Soundwave is a Decepticon, but he ends up joining the Transformers at some point in time. Becomes a good guy. But anyway, in the movies, he was a bad guy. Okay. So anyway, what's interesting about him is he's a satellite. And I'm like, that's funny. Why would Soundwave be a satellite? Well, you see in the signal, he was beaming down to the Decepticons to tell them the location of the shard, right? If I'm mistaken. I haven't seen part 2 in a minute, so I think it was a shard they was looking for in a military base. That same Soundwave, that same signal he used to beam down to the Autobots. I mean the Decepticons. It's the same Soundwave or frequency that was destroyed at the end of the film. But anyway, we get to that more later. Get into that part about the cable station. I'm gonna tell you why they had to go there and actually destroy that. Really. Oh no, it certainly doesn't benefit them. That's why they don't want it. You know, they want to be the ones with that. They want to be conscious. They want to be conscious of everything you're doing. So they gotta see everything you're doing. They gotta see. They gotta have cameras everywhere. Like everybody just explained not yesterday, but Monday about how they want to just watch everything you're doing. That's them being conscious. They say it has nothing to do with that. It's not consciousness, but that's what they need to be conscious. They have to be conscious of everything you're doing. They have to be aware of what you're doing because they don't have foresight. They don't have all sight. So they got to create an artificial, as we see, artificially induced consciousness for them to be able to be conscious of everything you're doing. So anyway, next part he says, we are in a trance. Wow. Damn trance. Now you went from sleep to being in a trance. How does this happen? Well, simple. You're already asleep. But now you're walking means you're sleepwalking. So trance means sleepwalk. But yeah, you in a coma. Yeah, you got to choose more angles. Right now it's from all angles. You got to see at the coma and have the same damn time. Oh no, I'm not trapped in a trance. Wow. But anyway, he said we are in a trance. They have made us insufficient to ourselves and others. Wow. Now, you know what that means? This is why I say this about black people. Because we have essentially become insufficient to one another. You know, you want to talk about unity and don't actually do it. You want to talk about we need black empowerment, but don't have no idea what the hell that is, and what should be the first rule. They want to talk about they're dealing with higher consciousness and higher levels of science, but they can't figure out how to destroy him. They can't figure out how to destroy his system and build them. So what the hell are you talking about? No, you have come insufficient to one another because the only thing they can do, the only thing I've seen the Negro do is beg, bicker, and argue. You understand? And then he tells me he's a real nigga. Oh my God, what the hell is that? You're a real nigga. What else are you real about? You see, this don't make any sense. But anyway, they're a real damn fool, they are. And I walk out their face and they tell me some shit like that. But anyway, you have become insufficient to others in yourselves. I mean, you can't even help yourself. God damn. We are focused only on our own game. Yeah, what does a nigga always tell me? I gotta get mine. Gotta get yours, nigga. Oh. Damn. Where's the unity coming in? I haven't seen the unity yet. They are safe as long as they are not discovered. Yeah, well, it's too late. We discovered them now, right? Now they're like, oh, so what? You discovered us. We'll just keep putting stuff out there over and over, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. Well, you know, you're right. Shit, it ain't happening, right? No, nobody's doing anything about it, man. No, he's very right about that. But shit, they have been discovered, right? And he says that is their primary method for survival, to not be discovered. Keep us asleep, keep us selfish, keep us sedated. Oh, I gotta give me a plug, man. Oh, I'm giving you some drink, nigga. Oh man, I'm about to go to the club. Oh, that's sedation like a motherfucker. That's a nation like a motherfucker. And they make sure a nigga is ready to do that every weekend. He can do it. If he can do it every day, he would do it too. But damn, sedation. Oh, motherfucker definitely is sedated. And selfish? Oh, you can't get any more selfish than the Negro in the society right now. Now, selfishness does have its use, its perks in some form. Because you do need it in some cases. But however, if you're talking about unity, you can't have no selfishness, because that's not what unity is. I mean, I hope they understand what that means. But see, they're trying to take individualism, you understand, and combine that with unity. How can you be indivisive and unify at the same time? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know how they even came up with that conclusion. Nigga telling me he's an individual. Well, he really trying to say he's unique. Because we are all unique. And that's fine. But indivisive individual? Oh, no, you can't be that. And say you unified. Because it's contradictive of that meaning. So no. They start playing with me. But this is how they survive. By programming the Negro. Oh, by creating the Negro, you know. So since they created this creature, they have kept him asleep. They kept him selfish. And they've kept him sedated. Kept him drugged. So that's the first part of the messenger, right? Now, when we go to the next part of the film, or actually, I should have gave the first part, but I kind of didn't want to do that yet because there's a reason for it. I'm going to go into more about why. Now, another part in the film, like I mentioned first, you talk about the church, and the film is depicted as a hidden network to fight against the system. Are you like, why did they use a church? Now, who was the head minister of the church? The black man, right? What was he? Blind. He was blind. You know, he didn't need no glasses. Why he need no glasses? He said that the world may have taken my sight, but God has allowed me to see. Why would he say that? I didn't really think about this shit. Because he was a pastor. And that was his church. That he was using to help his people. Because what I essentially figured out here is that he's the reason why they were even awake in the first place at that moment. Now, he could have been essentially the reason why they were awake at all. Why? Because you remember in the film, when Roddy Ryder Piper and Keith Davis' character got into the station through the watch, the teleporting watch, or the watch that gave him a secret entrance or disappear or something like that, depending on how you know. Well, they know how to use it, but they don't tell you how to film how to use it. Just he throws it and opens up the hole in the ground that leads into the station, which is probably how it disappeared when I think about it. But anyway, back to the point. When they enter into the station, you realize you see these two soldiers that are guarding at the moment. They listen to the radio broadcast from the other soldiers or cops or whatever, telling them that we finally got them, we destroyed them, all the terrorists are dead. Yeah, and they start giving a cheer and running off, right, walking away. We go to the other scene when they enter into the bar, what do they call that? The gala. They enter into the dinner, where all the humans supposed to be humans, and they never did give you the alien creatures' names in the film. So we're just gonna call them aliens, I guess. This moment, I don't know their names. So when they're in that gala, he tells them that we have the dude that's speaking, the guest speaker or the host speaker, whatever he is. He says that we have destroyed their West Coast division or headquarters, something like. He used one of those terms. That's what I was thinking. Wait, the black dude, essentially the black pastor in the film, the elder, he essentially woke up everyone on the West Coast. You understand? He woke up all the white people that were a part of the being homeless. He woke up everybody. But remember, you can eradicate the idea of them being Caucasian. These are all Negroes they're talking about. You understand? All of them. I don't care what you're looking at, the long hair, the blonde hair, the pale skin. No. These are all Negroes. Understand? So anyway, he wakes up all the blacks on the West Coast. And they have to go to the East Coast Division now, or the South Division, wherever. It basically told me that there are multiple divisions of resistance in the film. And unfortunately, they didn't get to make a sequel to the movie to go deeper into that, because the movie didn't make that much money when it came out. It was a flop, essentially. Even though he didn't really spend that much on it. He actually made a profit, but it's considered a flop by studio standards. So we're never going to get to see a sequel unless somebody decides one day, or get John Carpenter to say, you know what, we should make a sequel, man. And they'll do it. But anyway, he was the one that woke them up. And what they had essentially done was they had taken chemical, let's say tears and chemicals from his eyes to produce the glasses. Because though he was blind, his eyes allowed him to essentially see what they look like. This is why he was able to tap into their augmented realities. I mean, they had more than one. You're seeing one where if you don't put the glasses on, you don't see anything. So you think it's the real world. And then when you do put the glasses on, you're still entering into the virtual reality or the augmented reality. So you're still in the simulation anywhere it goes. Because why? The system was destroyed. So they have a system that controls two parallels, or two realities, right? But there are multiple realities. They told you in the film that these people were an enterprise. They were a business organization, a conglomerate. They would go around, you understand, around the galaxy, doing the same thing they did to people on Earth. There are multiple realities. Each planet they essentially taken over, they created a reality for each one. Now, next part. Now, I know y'all already remember, if you've seen the movie, I know y'all already remember the chick with the hazel eyes. Now, of course, we've seen her in a lot of movies in the 80s. And I always thought she was kind of spooky because her eyes were so hazel that she looked like she was a monster or something, right? A ghost. Well, her name in the movie was called Holly Thompson. Now, it was funny. When I was watching this movie months ago, and I watched this movie last year. I put this breakdown last year. So now I'm doing it a year later. And I was thinking to myself when I was watching it the first time last year, I said, you know what? Something just hit me out of nowhere. She has these hazel eyes. She works for the cable station. That's when it dawned on me. She represents a half-breed. She was a hybrid. She was a cross between what those aliens are, or whatever, and the humans, quote unquote. And that's obviously it made sense. The aliens are white people, or any people that invade your land, that comes in your place, comes in your land, and takes it over. I ain't gonna be them. You have so many foreigners over here anyway. They all invade you. These are all space invaders. So of course they come from another planet. Of course they have enterprises. It makes perfect sense. But that's not literal. That's figuratively. So you have to understand when they're lying to you. You just can't. Well, you shouldn't. They pretty much know when to stop listening to them anyway, because why would you believe anything they say? So she represented the half-breed, which means she took more towards the alien side than she did her own side. Therefore, when he thought he can trust her, and I don't even understand. I mean, sometimes when I look at this more, I think it's a little illogical and some shit. Like, this woman just threw you out the damn window of her apartment, first hit you over the head with a damn glass, champagne glass, then kicked your ass out the damn window, and then all of a sudden you see her at the meeting. You didn't think not one bit to be suspicious. Like, wait a minute, why was you here? Didn't I tell you why you put the glasses on, what happens? But you gonna tell me you were at the meeting and you gonna tell me sorry I didn't know? How you didn't know? They were wearing glasses. But you know, anyway, that was a bit illogical. I didn't think that made sense in the film. That was actually poor writing. You know, there's a couple of scenes in that movie that the writing was poor. But anyway, back to the point. That's why she was able to play both sides. She was at the meetings. Now, we see her in the movie at the meeting when they were discussing their plans about how they was going to destroy their system and break into their cable station and try to get the message, you know, out there, right? That's why she was playing both sides. She's actually hired to infiltrate. And since she looked like, kind of like us and kind of like them, but they couldn't see that because why? She probably looked more like us than them. You know, I met black people that had white moms or white pops, and they had really dark skin. You're like, damn, how can you have a mother that looked like that and your skin is so dark? So she looked like us, but she was with them, right? Okay. So, other words, she was a part of the resistance because she was put in there to infiltrate them, while at the same time, she would go back and report to them what was happening. And that's why they were able to obliterate a lot of them through the course of the film, but they don't really show. But that's what happened. So that's one aspect of the film when you go into her, because the movie don't make clear that. I know it don't. To have you thinking that maybe she's just a regular human that's sold out. They picked her specifically for her eyes. I'm talking about the director, John Carpenter. He picked her specifically for that. He picked that woman, Meg Foster, specifically for her eyes because she looked like us, but the way her eyes were designed let me know she wasn't exactly what they would call human, or at least not fully human, right? What else I want to say here? It is hard to determine if she is the result of a test subject created in the lab or through natural I said natural as in, procreation, because it is unclear. One could possibly say she is a result of procreation. Damn, I'm gonna lose my signal here. Yeah, one could say that she is the result of being a procreation or mating between the alien and the human, or a test subject that she was created in a laboratory. She could be one of the two, because it doesn't, they don't make it quite clear as to what she is. Also, like, they don't make it quite clear how long they've been on the earth and how long they've been mating with humans. So that means there's a lot of them in the film that have children. What the hell that was? With other people. You understand? With humans, that is. So that's one thing the film didn't make clear. But based on what I've essentially seen, I can say that she is not entirely human. What's the next thing in my notes here? Okay, now this is another part in the film that he speaks on, that the broadcaster is for, is the one breaking through the message, right? He says a signal is broadcast every day and every second through our television sets, even when the set is turned off. Wow. Even when it's turned off. So let's say, even when we just turn off the programming, we have got you so hypnotized, it don't matter. It don't matter how, it doesn't matter what you see. We got you so hypnotized that we can keep the TV on, or we can turn it off. And the TV just represents the entire reality that we're in, the augmentation of it. Then he says they are turning our atmosphere into their own. Dirty, dingy, smelly. I mean, we go back to ancient, but we go back to London or Europe and go into the cities where they were prominently at, and find out that everywhere just was dirty. It was manure everywhere, piss everywhere, dead animals, dead people, everything. This was England, right? London. This was all over London. Oh, not even just that. Some parts of Europe, right? So that's turning the atmosphere into ours. Another thing, we are like a natural resource to them. Deplete the planet, move on to another. I mean, that's pretty much clear. We know what we're talking about when we're talking about that. So you on a planet, but they telling you there's other planets. They go to but they actually talking about here, right? So in other words, what does that mean? After they're done with the United States, then what we always hear is what it will fall. So go somewhere else, do the same thing. it will fall. Because they like to take the resources, drain everything. They drain everything, like take control of it. So that makes perfect sense, right? That's what the movie is showing, right? So, yet again, can we see the connection? Can we see the connection? Guy right there who was about some aliens from outer space, when actually we are only aliens we talking about, you know who. Now anyway, okay, let me see. Oh yeah, planet. Actually, the planet in this case represents the continent. It represents a continental region. And then you have they want. Oh damn. Yes. Yeah, I'll be in a second. Yeah. So anyway, sorry, I got interrupted there. I'm trying to say here. Well, we really are. Oh yeah, they want us to feel indifferent. But what we really are is lifestyle. That makes sense. We all know that though, but it makes perfect sense. Now, another thing is the film also gives the impression that individuals that appear to be homeless are in fact hired spies. Now, I just spoke on this already. Used to infiltrate or survey underground resistance factions operating against the system. Now, I want you to understand something. If you remember in The Purge, I think it was part 2. No, in fact, it was part 2. If you remember, yeah, in The Purge part 2. Well, actually, just the Purge period. Let's go back to just some of the Purge period. If you remember the first one, the black dude that they were hunting down, he ends up in part 2. He ends up with a part of a underground resistance as against the Purge, right? Now, if you go back to part 2, you'll notice that they go into this area when they hunting down, you know, dude from Captain America 2 and the black the black mother, her daughter. When they hunt them down, they run into this area where the homeless people are at, right? Now, this is what something I was thinking about. This is how down there are all kinds of different places that homeless people sleep. They'll sleep under an underpath. They're even going to one of those reservoirs and do the same thing. So I started thinking to myself, why don't they do that? Well, that's what makes sense. These people that are homeless, remember, a lot of the homeless people are actually ex-military. That's when it dawned on me that all these hidden areas that the homeless are sleeping in actually secret hideout areas in case something does go down, they can hide. But what's happening is that people that look like them are going in these areas and reporting back to the police stations, telling them, yeah, the homeless got this little area over here. They sleep in this little area. You won't even know they sleep there. He will report back to them about what he saw. You understand? And that's when they go in, you know, crack down the area, kick them all out, or throw them in jail, or kill them, who knows, and block out the area so you can't go and hide no more. That's what they showed you in The Purge. That's what this movie is showing you as well, because this movie is also connected to The Purge, believe it or not. Especially when they go in there shooting them all up at their headquarters. That was straight out Purge, if you wasn't paying attention. Next up. Let me see. Underground resistance factions operating against the system. The agents are tasked with seeking information in regards to hidden resistance installations and secret hideouts so that they can be neutralized indefinitely. Yeah, absolutely. They want to make sure you can't hide nowhere. All right? If you don't have the resources essentially to protect yourself like they do, then they want you to be able to hide nowhere. They won't be able to destroy you right there. Or just, imprison you. Because you are in a simulation anyway. And this simulation is a prison, as they put in the Matrix, a prison for the mind. Because your body is dead. Remember, he told you in the movie, the mind cannot live without the, reverse. The body can't live without the mind. Right? So, if the mind has been taken and is not under their control, that means the body is dead. And now they can do anything they want to do with the body that's dead. They can reanimate it. You understand? They can eat it. It don't have to be. They don't have to be literal. Understand? I mean, we know that it is literal as well, but it don't necessarily have to be. It can be more psychological. You understand? But that's basically what they're hinting at when they're talking about the body and the mind and how they can control your mind. Because if you control the mind, then you control the body. So I told them, well, you keep my damn mind. I don't need a damn mind. I love my damn mind. They haven't had control of me ever since. But anyway, that's another part of the film. Now we go into the simulation part again. So I want to touch back on that again. The reason why they had to go into the cable station, cable 54, cable 9, the reason why they had to go into the cable station, remember we're always dealing with 9s, right? And we always talk about the 9 ether, right? No, that's what they're talking about. Control your ether. So anyway, they have to go into the cable station to destroy the frequency. Now I go back, I have to go back to the sound wave thing, the transformer, because that's connected to this shit. The sound wave is able to produce an image, a projection, that they want you to perceive about yourself and who they are. So the image is that when they put themselves on TV as much as they do, and we see all these fake images of who they are, how they're supposed to be these perfect people and highly intelligent and just right, everything's right is right, right? They talk about this all the time, right? But there's an image, that's a projection, because it's not true. Okay, absolutely. Cable network is the I can get that. But the reason why they give off that image is to make you look bad. Because they can't make you look good, they gotta make themselves look good and make you look bad. So they use a TV to make you like something else, while using the television at the same time make them look like something else. So you have to destroy the television, you have to destroy the programming to free the people. Or you can't really free the people, so actually free yourself. But what would happen if you do take over all the TV stations though? Then what would that look like? If we actually took over all the TV stations and destroyed them all? Maybe it would save the people, because that's the only thing that got everybody truly hypnotized is entertainment. Everybody's truly hypnotized by visuality. It's how they keep them stuck. And especially, women, because women are very visual people. So they can keep them even more programmed before they can keep any man programmed. But anyway, that's why they had to go into the TV station to destroy it. It really had nothing to do with the mirage or the hologram that the people project to make themselves look human and actually look like these grotesque, weird-looking creatures. It was actually to destroy the programming, to take back the ether, the non-ether. Or as you just said, the Kabbalah, which makes sense too. Absolutely. So they had to destroy that to actually free the minds. So they took everything. The whole mind has been taken. The whole body is under their control. They control the entire society. So it makes perfect sense. Dielectric constant. They feeding off our frequencies, good or static. Absolutely. And that's on point. That's very true. That's what's happening in the film. This is how they're going to keep you in this coma. This induced coma. Well, artificially induced coma, right? So they can put you on this operation machine, put you on this, what do they call that? The IV and the, the machines they use for the hospital. I can't even think of it right now. It's funny. Got to keep you on there so they can keep draining you, liquefying your body, draining your energy, or in this essence, like they're blood suckers, right? So draining your blood like ticks, staying on you, so that you can't wake up from it, from the coma. Though you are awake, you are a awake being, but yeah, you're still asleep. And quite frankly, we see this very in-depthly in the conscious community. Yeah, you're like, well, how can they be asleep when they're talking such and such? They are asleep as well. Because they don't know when they're being lied to. If you know you're being lied to, then how in the hell you're awake? They're going around telling me such and such and this and all that's lies. They don't know which one of us is a lie. Just like the Negro has some power to understand he's being insulted. That's why they can look at a movie like Black Panther and I have no idea when they just got insulted on every level. Now I know the Negro been waiting for a movie like that for years for them to give them a chance to make a movie like that. I get it. They couldn't do it on their own, so they had to go to him to do it right. But yeah, he makes the movie, and you understand, and don't peep the insults in the film. They can't see it. So if the Negro can't see it, he can't hear either. So they have attacked all of your consciousness. Your consciousness pretty much has been destroyed. So you can't smell, you can't taste. As he tells me in the movie, you can't smell. Matrix I'm talking about. He said, you can't smell, you can't taste, you can't hear. Yeah. So, but that only happens when you take control of the mind by creating a mind for them. So they think they have a mind, they actually don't. Because they actually have a mind that they created, they would be able to see the bullshit that's being thrown at them. So he had to destroy the program. They had to go to the tower to destroy the program. That's what that's all about. So when they did, and they destroyed the program, and they took back the minds of the people, and that's when everybody started seeing, you understand, how they really looked, for who they really were. But the Negro and every other person that's essentially attached to them is so hypnotized by them that even if you were to destroy them, they would destroy you for doing it. Yeah. That's how deeply entrenched the program is. So they will continue to live on even in death. That's why they live. They will continue to live even in death. So you destroy them, they will still be alive. Now I don't mean literally, figuratively, and esoterically. It's just all metaphysical science you're dealing with here, because it represents the unknown, so to speak. Because I'm dealing with the scene. Everything is dealing with the scene. But it's unknown because what? They can't see it. They're hypnotized. So this is why we use a word says it's hidden in plain sight. But how can it be hidden if it's in your sight? It's impossible. You see it. But it's unknown to you because they have told you what they want to tell you it is. And two, you know what it is. So you know when you're being lied to. That's how they keep the programming going. So they have to keep you stuck in all these areas of entertainment, law, military. Well, since we're not dealing with real politics anymore, this isn't really politics. Ancient politics made more sense. This politics is like the abbreviation of it, and it's not the real thing anymore. I would say politics as well. Just because it's not, well, for one, it's a game. It's a game in itself. So you should be playing it either way. And I say this because, well, your enemies play it. They want you to play it. So you have to play it to destroy them in it. Remember, this is all a game. You have to be a king of the games. Like, what's that? Yu-Gi-Oh! The cartoon always shows you him playing card games, but you ever read the manga, he played multiple games. He played dice games. Oh, excuse me. He played dice games. He played so many different games. It's crazy. I remember reading the manga a long time ago. Around the height of the cartoon's popularity, I just picked it up one day because I used to collect books like that. And I seen that he played multiple games. I'm like, wow, you don't just play cards. But he's a master of games, so it makes sense. The king of games. So you have to be a king of games, not a jack. Forget a jack of trades. I was the motherfucking there master of the damn thing. But be a master of trades makes perfect sense. To be a king of the games makes perfect sense. See, the Negro is so confused. He thinks that maybe he shouldn't participate, that they were only getting the upper hand and win. How stupid can you be? You tell me you're a god, but yet you're not smart enough to defeat a devil. Oh, that's embarrassing. Now, the nigga say out of his mouth, I don't think he can handle it anyway. I'm like, hey, nigga, what's wrong with you? How can you tell me that? I should take advantage of you myself. I should treat you like a little chump. You just told me you a god and can't beat him. Now stop playing. You understand? See, the nigga didn't feed himself before he even began. Golly, how do niggas do that? Niggas actually lose a game before they even began because they defeated themselves by saying some shit like that. And all they gonna do is tell me how much they have been mistreated. He did this. He put us in slavery. He hung us. Well, we know that already, nigga. So what you gonna do about it? I don't want to keep hearing that. I don't want to see the pictures no more. I've seen the pictures about 1,000,000 times. Forget that. But they won't have no problem playing kid games for him. They don't have no problem running across a court, throwing a ball into a hoop, or what they call it. They don't have no problem running across a field to score what they call a touchdown. You understand? So niggas do play games. They just don't play the right ones. Oh, man. That's almost embarrassing. That really is. So, it used to be sad at one point. I used to be sad by that. I said, you know what? That's a damn shame. Almost brought you to tears. But then, as time moved on, I couldn't cry about it anymore. I couldn't get mad about it anymore. I couldn't complain because I realized that, well, in the end, there's only going to be so many that's going to wake up and make it anyway. It's just the point. It has to be that way. That so many will have to be destroyed just for the righteous to make it, so to speak. Because they can't see it. You understand? So, you know, he plays games, we don't play the right ones. He is serious about certain things, we ain't serious about the right things. He finds seriousness in trivial shit. You understand? But he don't find the seriousness in real serious shit. So no, you're not gonna beat no goddamn person, this enemy we keep talking about. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Because anyway, the best solution they come up with is the same thing, right? What we always hear. He told you in the movie that, see, check this out. The whole, okay, how do I want to start with this? You know the part where when you get into the what I'm talking about here. We get into the part about the sovereign citizen and all officiality of the state, and that the United States is just a corporation, that kind of shit. But that extends beyond the United States, man. That extends to this place y'all call Africa. This extends to China. This extends to Japan. This extends to all those places, not just here. They keep telling me this is only a corporation, but you should know better. You got a government everywhere. So how can this government be the only corporation? So they telling me, well, we have to get away from America and go back to Africa, as if you all came from there. But anyway, just say that, that's the case. Okay. Well, going back to Africa don't mean anything because they control that too, and that's a corporation. So I don't know what the hell they're talking about. They can't even come with a proper solution. They ain't the damn solution. The nigga is telling them that. I want you to understand, the Negroes are telling them that are agents. Now, whether they are, like I said, whether they are actually working for a CIA, FBI, KGB is another story. But one thing for certain is that they are that just because they support the system. So anyways, it kind of makes us all agents because we have to support the system in a way. You understand? What I mean by it, we gotta work, we gotta pay bills, we gotta eat, we gotta go to the grocery store. Sometimes we want entertainment, we gotta pay for that. We support their system indirectly. Whether we are actually for it in the sense of defending it. Maybe not, but we still have to support it in some way because we haven't overthrown it. So we are literally all agents. But however, what I'm speaking on is you don't necessarily have to be a member of the FBI or those companies. You're an agent because you give support and life to the system when you should be destroying it. I mean, that should be the what's on the Negro's mind 24/7 is to destroy it. So what I'm saying? Automatically. Every day, all day. That should be the only thing. I don't want to hear about no sports. No football, basketball. I don't even argue about no damn metaphysics or a damn movie. I can't believe I argued about a movie ever in my life. I ain't made the motherfucker, so I'm arguing about it for. That's stupid. Because if I made the motherfucker, it'd be way better. You know, if I made Black Panther, it would be way better if I made it. So I actually write stories. But it's just mighty funny that I have to argue about certain trivial shit. I don't need to argue about anything. Let's talk about what we're going to do. Because this movie is telling you what they want to do to you. And what they have been doing all this time. Keeping you in an artificially induced coma that resembles sleep. You're not asleep. But it seems like you are asleep based on that. So yeah, man. You know, it's one hell of a movie. You know, and another thing I want to speak about that movie is, oh yeah, that's what I'm going to tell you, T. Hope you're still here, man. Because I know there was a part in the movie. Okay, well, I gotta put this. How do I start with this? Have y'all seen Stranger Things? The show Stranger Things on Netflix? You know, I've seen both these seasons. It's actually one of my favorite shows. Okay. Now I really don't have many of them, but I like this one. You remember in the first, well, you've seen it, right? But, you know, in the first season, they showed you what number 11, what's her name, right? 11. What they would have her do when she was a test subject, right? They would send her, they would put her in some kind of induced, you understand, artificial, what the hell, reality, right? And when she enters into that reality, what happens? She's in this dark area, right? It almost resembles some kind of dark water. And in that area, she sees what this Russian military, I believe. When they shit, that's my trail of thought. Fucking fly. Anyway, she see what the Russian general was doing, right? Because they wanted to know what their enemies across seas were doing. So the area she enters in is not exactly an augmented reality, but it's what would happen if you were to give a description of what ESP would look like if you were to enter into that area or that dimension, that realm. So what you actually were witnessing when she did that was extrasensory projection. She projected herself in their environment, but they didn't see her. Why? Because she literally became a shadow by going into the shadows. I know, that's kind of weird, right? Well, that's what's funny. When they put those glasses on and enter into that augmentation, they were actually they are projecting their sensory. You understand? That's what the glasses does. Then eventually, of course, they get the contact lenses, but the glasses send them in that dark realm instantaneously. As soon as they put them on, they in there. Take them off, they're out of it. When you go back into Stranger Things, she does the same thing. She doesn't put the glasses on, but she goes into that same reality, that same realm. So this is what made it clear for me. There was a part in the movie when he first started coming to the awareness about what he had in his eyes and what was happening. And he was at the newsstand, right? There's a part where the black dude that's operating the newsstand actually said, "Hey, buddy, you know, hey, I ain't no time for this, sir. You gonna buy the book or not?" Right? What the hell? Anyway, says you gonna buy the book or not, right? Okay. Well, basically, when he is looking at him, there's a book in the background, right? Would you believe it says ESP by such and such person? I couldn't really make it out that way. I wish I could have, but the copy I got is kind of not the highest definition. It's like 480p. I was trying to find 720p version of this movie. But anyway, I just know I could tell that much. Anyway, yeah, so it said ESP on the cover. That's when it dawned on me that this Stranger Things and They Live is the same damn movie. Same damn thing. Well, let's look at it this way. You're looking at two realities when you're looking at Stranger Things anyway. You got the world that they live in, you got the world that these Gorgons live in. But yet they're in the same parallel, they're in the same reality, but we can't see their world unless we enter into their world. And as you see in the movie, they start entering into our world, right? Well, the same thing with They Live. When you can only see their world when you put the glasses on. But when you don't have the glasses off, you can't see their world. So they're both in the same predicament. So in other words, I could take Stranger Things and They Live and put them in the same world. You understand? And have the same story where the Gorgon could be the alien people in the film, but the nameless alien people. Because I would like to see them do some kind of prequel to that movie, or even a remake, just a really good remake to really show how that shit led up. We know what led to that point, man. We don't. It don't make no point of telling you where they came from at all. Well, actually, you know what? Let me take that back. It says something about Andromeda, that they come from Andromeda or they go to Andromeda. That doesn't mean anything, because in the movie it tells you that they have enterprises all over the galaxy. So Andromeda don't really mean anything either. I can't tell you where they come from because the movie doesn't state it at all. It doesn't even insinuate it. So another thing is, they live for yeah, they live for Stranger Things, exactly. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So let me get some water here. So basically, what the hell is that? Oh, I'm sorry. People doing some weird stuff. But anyway, yeah, back to the movie. So anyway, when you're dealing with the this movie, everybody talking about the whole entire alien and reptilian thing. I tell you, that happened after this film was released, basically. But it's funny that they were talking about that, but it has nothing to do with the film. These aren't aliens you're looking at. You're looking at the people here that call themselves Caucasian, white, whatever, that like to invade people's space. But they they create this persona of what they want you to see them as. But in reality, you understand, they are something else. So they gotta use this projection to keep their society going and keep you hypnotized or in a coma, right? In an induced coma. So that's what the movie is pretty much all about. That alien shit, they probably make that shit up so y'all can talk about it. They make up a whole lot of shit. They're always lying.
Hey, sir, you ordered a leaf?
Huh?
You ordered a right?
No. No, no, I didn't. No, but anyway, yeah, I called Michelle, thought he interrupted me. Shit. Anyway, so yeah, basically that's what you're dealing with. So that whole reptilian thing, stop, man, don't buy that. Such thing. Now, I'm not saying they don't have creatures out there and shit. Once, that are lab subjects. I don't doubt that one bit. But them, well, yeah, well, you are dealing with a lab subject. I don't know why they don't believe it. They don't believe he was created. They think he just came out of nowhere. You got niggas actually debating about that. No, he ain't that. No! I ain't saying the Yaku story is entirely true, but I am saying, you understand, he was created. So if anything, he would be a reptilian in that aspect. But lizard people from another planet that took over the Earth in secret and subjugating the planet, people on the planet, they don't understand that they are actually subjugated as slaves by aliens ruling the government and working with the quote-unquote, you know who. Y'all believe that, the grays and the blues. Wow. That's pretty silly. But I'm really, I really shouldn't say anything about it. Y'all can believe what y'all want to believe. Well, personally, I know these people too well for me to believe anything that come out of their mouth. or anything they put in the book, or anything they put in the movie. So no, I ain't gonna believe no damn aliens from outer space. That's stupid. And if that is, let's say that is the case. Well, then you have worse problems then. Your problem's even fucking worse. Oh no, you got a real problem. You thought you had a problem. Oh, man, your problem's even worse now. If you got those kind of people ruling the planet with super spaceships and high technology. Oh yeah, that's a problem. But it's not true. So, you know what I'm saying? That's not true at all. But they believe that. You understand? But anyway, hope you definitely enjoyed the breakdown. If I have anything else to put in the breakdown, but if you got any questions, definitely ask now. In regards to the film, I'm pretty much done with this analysis. But it's a very interesting film. And I remember when it came out, it wasn't well perceived. Everybody, a lot of people slept on that film. They didn't like it, and it's a damn shame. You understand? But I really would like to see a prequel, at least a prequel or even a sequel to that movie. But a remake, I think that alone would definitely explain a lot of things. They got the right writers to really break down the story. But other than that, the movie is in the same area as a Fight Club or what's a movie I've seen that confusing? I guess I could say Infinity War is just as confusing. But it just leaves you with a lot of questions. You're like, damn, what's happening here? I mean, I see that they were here, they're ruling it. But of course, that's where, that's the movie confusion. It's when you actually decode the film and you apply it to your reality is when you begin to realize what the movie's about. And how basically he tells in the film, hey, I believe in America. I believe in the American dream. I believe if I do right and follow the rules, my life will be perfect. That's the Negro talking. He believes that. Because Corpus knows better. Fight Club is a movie I can watch every single time it comes on. That movie alone showed the fall of the twins. Man, check this out. Now, I'm going to say that movie the first day it came out back in October of 1999. I remember distinctly it was October. So I seen the first day it came out. And when I seen that movie, I think I was 17 years old and didn't have no idea what the hell I was seeing at the time. So I wasn't even code-breaking movies, but I did have questions. And I hated that movie for years. I thought, oh, the movie's terrible. He was Tyler Durden the whole time. Oh, I hated it. I hated that movie. Until when I became started code-breaking, I can truly appreciate the movie. And now, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. But when Fight Club came out, oh man, I felt like I want my money back for seeing that. And it's a shame because if that was a movie I did like, I would have bought it. And then when the Twin Towers came down, I would have showed everybody on the planet, hey, look, this is just like we seen in the damn movie. It's Twin Towers. But it's funny that when 9/11 did happen, the only movie I can think of that I seen that happen in real life, but in the film, was that movie Siege with Denzel Washington and Bruce Willis and Ned Beatty. That's the movie that I distinctively remember after seeing what happened in the Twin Towers. I'm like, yeah, didn't I see a movie like this? And that's what down to me. I remember Siege. So, Fight Club is Suicide Squad, you mean? Yeah. Pretty much. I know, right? It's pretty much the same, right? But yeah, it was Siege for me. It was definitely Siege because it didn't. I had to watch Fight Club like maybe 2 years. Well, no, 2 years after 9/11 to see it because I didn't like the movie. I hated it. So when I came back and seeing like probably in 2003, I think after 9/11, 2003, I was like, oh man, that's the Twin Towers. But I totally forgot about it. So now, like I said, I seen the movie 99, then watched it again for like 4 years. So see it and then like, oh my gosh. But it was it's definitely one of the deepest movies. Now, one of my favorite breakdowns. Well, it's just a whole lot about that movie I couldn't put in my breakdown. Then I do have my notes to this day. But yeah, it's a whole lot about that movie I can't even speak on. I discovered. But he used a lot of tactics in that movie based on what James Jones did in real life. Was in that movie. They also blatantly told the masses what was going down in Long Kiss. Oh, yeah. Yo, absolutely. Man, that movie's something else. They literally tell you in the movie who they gonna blame it on. They're like, hey, we're gonna attack. We're gonna a terrorist attack, and put in a certain area, and then we're gonna blame on the Muslims. I'm like, damn. I like gave the whole plot away. You just told us what was gonna happen. Now that movie come out 1995, I believe, 96, 95, around that area, right? I can't remember. You definitely correct me. I think it was neither 90. I think it was 95 because I believe 96. I think it's about that. It's around the area. But anyway, I want to say the correct date that movie came out so I can get the calculation. But if it came 95, then they told us six years before time. It came 96, so I can't remember. I probably look it up. Then they told us 5 years ahead of time. But either way, they told us ahead of time. But like this post I wrote back in 2014, I just shared earlier this morning about the Die Hard. I couldn't believe I heard that in that movie. I mean, I already knew Die Hard was about that, but I haven't seen the movie in so long that when I actually watched it, I believe last Sunday. He actually tells them that he's on the dude was on the plane with him, and he's like, hey, when I usually get on the plane, I walk around and such and such, blah blah blah. And I've been doing this for 9 years, and he kind of laughing, like, I know it's kind of weird, but they helped me for 9 years. Then when they about to get off the plane, he gets up like he sees his gun, and he's like, oh, don't worry about that, I'm a cop. And I've been that for 11 years. I'm like, wow, how didn't I catch that? I've seen the movie multiple times. When I was a kid, obviously, and I haven't seen it in a long time. So when I seen that, I couldn't believe it. And then, now that makes me want to watch part 2. I got to find part 2 and see that one now. But I can say part 3, though. I see now, I got that one. But in part 3, they literally tell you that Hillary and Donald Trump are going to run for president. And they told you that Donald Trump would become president in that movie. It's the movie. But they told you to become president. When did that movie come out? Die Hard with Vengeance. They told you to become president 21 years later. 21 years before it happened, they told you he would become president. So what's that tell us? That means they playing shit before a motherfucker born. They say that, yeah, your son gonna be the president in such and such year. I told you, they pick a name for that year as a code word. So, that's the Cavs won that year, right? And I told people, if you watch Captain America Civil War, you will actually find the Cavs are going to win, along with him becoming president. Civil War shows you that. But it's very subtle. You got to really put the little pieces together and, pay attention what they're at in the film. You actually understand, hey, they tell you in that movie, Captain America Civil War, that he's going to become the president of the United States. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to win the NBA championship. And number 3, it also tells you how they're going to use the disease to wipe out people, because you see the same thing in Civil War that you see in Batman vs Superman. Now I'm asking myself, well, how are these movies different? It's the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And then you have yeah, what am I trying to say here? Oh, then you have that movie I Am Legend. Remember in I Am Legend, they actually had a poster of Batman vs Superman on the movie theater part. Remember the part when he's the first parts of the movie when he comes in with his dog chasing down an animal to eat. If you pay attention to when he gets out the car, you're gonna see a Batman vs Superman symbol, but it's gonna be connected together. Like I'm not sure you ever seen that symbol where Batman's his bat symbol is connected to his emblems, connected to Superman's emblem. It's kind of like intertwined. They had that in the movie. So now the movie comes out, what, years later? That movie came out 2007. So then it comes out, 2016, so it comes out 9 years later. But they didn't say the movie was coming out, they just had that advertisement. But next thing you know, you got a movie. What odds? But why does both movies have the same thing? A virus. You understand? Now, if you, even if you take I Am Legend, you can actually combine I Am Legend with the Book of Eli, because the character that Will Smith played in I Am Legend, Dr. Robert Neville, is the same character Eli that Denzel Washington plays in the Book of Eli. Now I know you're like, wait a minute, what the hell are you talking about? Didn't Will Smith die in the movie? I know, but you gotta watch the extended version. You ever seen the extended cut? Oh, if you haven't seen it, then you gotta see it. Oh yeah, there's an extended cut. In the extended cut, he actually lived. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one they should have put in the damn movie theater instead of the other one. I'm glad I didn't go to see that movie because I would have been highly pissed if I had paid my money to see that crappy ending. But I'm glad I waited and seen the extended edition. And he actually survives. And he actually leaves the city with the lady and that kid. And that's when I realized that Book of Eli and that movie, the same movie, because of why? He came from the East Coast. You go back to the Book of Eli, he said he came from the East, but he's trying to come to the West. He left the East to come to the West. Book of Eli is in the East. Right? That Book of Eli, I Am Legend is the East, right? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Now you're like, wait a minute, how did he get blind? We told you how he got blind in the movie. Same person. They're both military. Both highly trained. I mean, remember, that's what Will Smith was. He was a military man, but he also was a military doctor, scientist. Same thing. They got the military, research divisions, right? For disease and warfare and psychology, that kind of thing, right? Military specialized in all kinds of shit, right? So, it only made sense for him to be the same man. Because what we also see in the movie, you see in the film them eating people, right? Now, the Book of Eli is also attached to the Book of Eli, and I Am Legend is also attached to Mad Max. Remember, all their movies in the same universe. Once you realize that, you can pretty much put them all together. Now, The Walking Dead is the precursor to all the movies, or at least it's a precursor to Book of Eli, because the Book of Eli takes place, maybe 10 years, 10 years or 20 years after what he experiences in I Am Legend. Now, I Am Legend is also connected to Book of Eli. I Am Legend is also connected to the new Planet of the Apes films, because what you see happens in, what's that movie, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes? Dawn of the Planet of the Apes looks just like New York in I Am Legend. In fact, that is the same place. Now, I can go as far as to say, like I just said, that he came from the East. But however, when you go back to Book of Eli, he goes from the East to what city on the West? San Francisco. Or the Planet of Apes is in San Francisco. So now, what are the odds in that? Could that be a coincidence? Of course not. Well, I mean, it's a coincidence in the sense that two things happen or multiple things happen at the same time, but it's not by chance. It's not an accident that they would do that. That New York looks like a wilderness, just like San Francisco looks like a wilderness in the film. So, same characters. Well, yeah, Resident Evil. Hold on. Let me know what y'all said. A lot of stuff here. Let me first go back. When you watch a movie, always pay attention to what's in the background. Absolutely. Absolutely. You should. In fact, you should watch a movie again just to do that. Just don't even look at anything else. Just look at that. Then you should watch the movie another time just to hear the dialogue, just see what they say. Don't even look at the action. You can keep your eyes closed, be laying down and meditating or whatever, and just listen to what they're saying. That's another thing you should do also, because that also lets you know, it keeps you sharp in what they're saying. see also. I have screenshots. We have screenshots of G. Know exactly what you talking about. Yep. Him and Zombie separated peaceful, if not mistaken. Right. Yeah, the extended version. Now, mind you, the zombies are actually black people that lost their melanin. It took me a minute. It actually didn't take a minute. I just dawned on me while I was watching the film one day. I was like, wait a minute, how come he got like a brother? And the way he acted was like a brother. And when he took the chick that was connected to him, the girl, and he was going in there rushing to beat him up and try to get his girl back, she was a sister. See, that's what happens when the Negro, and one of these days I'm ready to talk about that movie. I haven't actually did an entire breakdown of that film, but in a way I kind of have, but I actually want to go a little deeper because there are more things about that film I could really tell you about, but I don't want to say right now because we're going to break down. But anyway, Will was always military cop, so yeah, I expect all the time, right? I mean, why, right? I think I think I heard Bobby Hemmings speak on that one day as to why they have you play the cop all the time. I can't remember what he said. I think it's in one of my videos though. I mean, one of the videos I have of him where he said something about that. I gotta look it up. But he said something about why they always have you play a cop. You not only can, forget probably, you can throw Resident Evil in the same story, sir. Period. It's the same damn thing. Same damn thing. Now, Resident Evil, that's the overall story of the film. That's an overall arcing story. In other words, everything I name, I Am Legend, even though I Am Legend is based on an old book, right? That actually was, I believe, the first book that went into the idea of the zombie virus. In Book of Eli, all these movies, even though they came, you understand, during Resident Evil and after Resident Evil, or before Resident Evil is still the overall arcing storyline to all of them. It's like that's the precursor to every last one of the zombie films and of the films that deals with the cannibalism that happens in Mad Max and happens in Book of Eli. All of the films pretty much stem from Resident Evil. Because why I'm saying this? Go back to Resident Evil 6, the final chapter. He tells you in the film, when in the board meeting, he says we're going to plan and orchestrate this apocalypse on we're going to pretty much plan to end the world, but we're going to do it by our rules and by our time. Pretty much he breaks it down how they're going to do it. You understand? I mean, if you ever seen that last Resident Evil, oh man, I always tell people that's the best one that was ever made. I ain't like none of those damn movies. When I seen Part 6, that's the first one I ever liked. I'm like, wow, y'all really broke some shit down. Y'all really exposing stuff in this film. Cause that's like the deepest one. They ain't got no deeper than that. I think Part 4 was a waste of time. Part 5 was a waste of time. I felt my time was wasted watching both those films. But Part 6 is the best one. That's where they really go deep into it, and that's when I pieced all those movies together as well. So, Resident Evil is the precursor to everything. You understand? In fact, Tomorrowland and Resident Evil are in the same category, because you go back to Tomorrowland, you see the dude, Hugh Laurie's character, talking to George Clooney about why they wanted to orchestrate the end of the world. If you remember, I think I even have a video I shared on here one day from that scene from the movie. That's the same thing pretty much is said in Resident Evil 6. But he's not speaking to someone as an opposite of the plan. He's speaking to the people that are in code with the plan. But it's the same story. Then you have, what else is, what's another one I'm thinking about here? But yeah, pretty much. All the movies in the same universe. And once you realize it, then you realize there's no difference. You just gotta put them all together. You gotta put every last one together. That's actually pretty difficult. But when you put them all together, you see the overarching story. Maybe one of these days I'll talk about that, their actual plan. But anyway, guys, I'm about to get off now here. Try to go in here and cook dinner and stuff, and things like that. But I'm glad, you know, I took the time to pay, you know, to you know, come to my little breakdown here. Hope you enjoyed it. Absolutely, you know, maybe doing another one of these broadcasts essentially sometime this weekend. I'm thinking about Saturday or Sunday. Still thinking. Also still thinking what I'm talking about next. But, you know, if I had some suggestions, I would definitely like y'all to vote on some of them, so I'll see what I come up with. But other than that, definitely enjoy chopping with you brothers and sisters, and until then, peace.